going live.
Great set, brother.
Oh, that was fun. That was a good vibe tonight. I had fun with that.
All right. Becky, are we live?
Says
I
live.
think we're live.
Hey, everybody.
It looks like it.
All right. We are on the Huntley Fall Fest page live right now. So first of all, Pino, great set tonight. Holy smokes.
Thank you.
Such artistry. We love it, man.
It was my pleasure. And it's been, these live streams have been great, you know, as some of the other people can probably attest to. It's kind of the new normal is pretty weird, you know, but we're trying to get used to it. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's very weird.
Absolutely. So let me do some stuff here first. That stuff that we need to do. Huntley Fall Fest brought to you by First National Bank of Omaha. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but they do sponsor our stage. So thank you very much, First National Bank of Omaha. We appreciate you being here with us for Huntley Fall Fest. And tonight we are going to do some interviews or some questions with these artists that are going to grace our stage September 25th, 26th, and 27th at the Huntley Park District facilities for Huntley Fall Fest. So you guys, Nick and Scott and Josie, you've played Huntley Fall Fest before, haven't you?
Yes.
Few times.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite festivals.
Me too.
Yeah, it's such a
I love
great
it.
fest. Pino, you're gonna love it, man. You're gonna love it.
I'm very looking forward to it. You can't even comprehend my excitement level.
A couple more things we got to take care of here. We do have a carnival, a car show. We've got so much stuff going on at Huntley Fall Fest. And Pino, you gave away at one of your live feeds a couple weeks ago, you gave away a mega pass, didn't you?
I did, yeah. That was Bryant's idea, and you know, that's, I think the dollar value on that's pretty high too. But that's for like the carnival and all that stuff. So
Yes.
yeah,
Whoever won that gets to go to the carnival for all day, and that's like a $75 ticket item right there. That's pretty cool.
yeah, that's awesome.
Bryant must really like you.
Well, I mean, Scott, we've got to get you on our Huntley Fall Fest page and have you do a live feed right from our page.
That'd
I
be
know
awesome.
you did it. I know you did one for you guys at Hillbilly Rockstars, but we can also have you on our page like Pino did tonight.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So another question, and I'm picking on Pino, guys, so just hang tight because this is all like setup stuff for tonight here. But one of our new vendors that we have is a place that I think you play a lot, Pino, right? They're going to have two beers for us, Oktoberfest beer and a new IPA that they're making just for us at Huntley Fall Fest, So Hopped Brewery.
So hopped, yes. Their beer is amazing, and they just opened about, I wouldn't say about a year ago. So they've been they opened in a facility that houses also like indoor soccer and indoor baseball and stuff. It's in right off of 47 in downtown in Huntley area. So they're fantastic folks, and they have a great product. And yeah, it's been really fun to get in there and play to the folks that come in there. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. As you see right above me, right here, my finger disappears. That is my Becky and our PayPal me link for our raffle tickets that we're doing. We're doing another raffle. We're going to give away a 13x19 print, and I hold it up, but it disappears. So I'm not going to hold that up. An 11x14 print, but this I'll hold up. We're also giving away a clock. You see that right there?
Wow.
That is a JPM.
Cute.
That is a JPM printed front-faced battery-powered clock. We're going to
Jim,
give
you
that
have
away
two hands on your clock.
free.
Did you
actually.
take
It's
that
weird.
picture, Jim? Did you take the picture?
I don't remember if Becky took that or I did, but that is Rocky Mountain National Park.
Hi, Eddie.
We were at Rocky Mountain National Park a few years ago, and man, I got to tell you, if you guys have never taken that drive through the park and you get an opportunity, take it, because it's one of the most beautiful
It is gorgeous.
things that we have
So
ever
gorgeous.
experienced. And I say experience because it's not just, you know, John Denver said it right, man. Rocky Mountain High, holy crap, it was just amazing out there. So
Best
But,
load
yeah.
best loadout for a band ever.
Yeah. But it is a beautiful place.
So grateful.
So, all right, I got all that stuff away. So I'm gonna scare you guys right now just a little bit. I did contact some of your family.
Uh-oh.
I got some input from your family, and I got some things to talk to you about.
I haven't
So-
talked to my family in years.
Nick.
I'm not wearing pants. I'll just throw it out
Oh.
there. Okay.
I appreciate
Everybody
you
knows
saying
now,
that.
Jim. Thanks.
I appreciate you saying that because I actually do have pants on today, not shorts. And I do have pants on for this event only, just in case I stood up. So, but Nick, man, I gotta tell you, Nick, your list is the longest, pal.
That's great. Hey, before you go on, I just want to let you know that Camille has made it home. from the
Yes.
hospital.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great news.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, we found out today, Camille, one of our Chicagoland artists, Gerald and Camille Acoustic and Vinyl Goldmine are their two bands that they play with, and Camille was brought into the hospital today. She was diagnosed with CV-19, and we wish her all the health and happiness and getting together back with Gerald and back into this beautiful life we're
Yeah,
living.
don't scare us anymore, Camille. Stop that.
Yeah. So yes, thank you for reminding me of that.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? We might as well do this right away. Nick, I know you're not going to partake and I didn't warn anybody else, but I'm calling a safety meeting for anybody that's out there knows what that is.
What are you talking about? Wait, what? Where did this come from?
Nice.
What's
Nick,
going on over here?
it's all good, man.
Yeah,
There you go.
I got some coffee.
Perfect.
There you go.
Perfect. All right.
I'm allergic to
You
alcohol.
guys,
I break
thank
out
you
in
for being
handcuffs.
here.
Me too.
This is fake. If you could see, this is food coloring.
Mine too.
All right, we got to
Mine
do
too.
this like they do in Nashville. Help me out here, okay? It's called a holler and swaller. I know you took one. You got to take two now. On the count of three, everyone's going to scream, and that's everybody in Facebook land. All right, on the count of three, you scream, and then you take a chug. So it's on the count of three, holler and swaller. 1, 2, 3, holler!
Swallow.
And swaller. Safety meeting. That one goes out to Chris and Danny Burke.
Yeah, Chris and Danny
Cheers.
Burke love those two. All right, so some of the general questions with all you guys, and I'll ask those first. Give me two of your major influences growing up, what you listened to and who you looked at and said, man, I just want to be a star like that person or a singer like that person, or I want to play a stage. I want to be there. What were your influences? Josie, I'm going to
Cox
ask you
and
first.
Richie
I know you're
Hopper. Nick Cox and Richie Hopper.
nice.
That's true.
Ladies first, though.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So I'm gonna say Whitney Houston and Jennifer Holliday.
Nice.
Yeah, they got some big voices, let me tell you.
Nice. Yeah, Whitney Houston, what a great vocal role model to follow.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Did you like sing their songs in the shower or when you were getting ready for school or?
Yeah,
You know,
I
those
still
kind of
sing.
things.
I still sing them all the time. I'm always singing. Let me tell you, people are so annoyed by me all the time. I don't even speak. I just sing.
Nice. Scott, how about you?
Well, Alabama was probably my biggest country influence, along with the Eagles. And then on the funk side, I like Stevie Wonder, Parliament, stuff like that. And
Nice.
then I got into a rock phase with Kiss, where I, wore out rock and roll over.
And I know that you play in Hillbilly Rockstars now, that you run that band and you got a great band put together right now. And that is a country band, but you weren't always country, were you?
No, actually, when I was a kid, I started out in an oldies band, 50s and 60s. Played drums and sang. And we did stuff from Buddy Holly and Elvis and all the good stuff from the 50s and 60s.
Now,
Even
was
some
that
Ralph
band-
Donald stuff.
Nice. Was that band called Centerline?
No, that would have
No.
been, it was a band called The Shades
The
when I was
Shades,
little.
nice.
But yeah, Centerline was back in, oh geez, I think it was like,
1732.
yeah, exactly. 1998.
Oh, we'll get to some of those Centerline
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
But Nick, how about you?
Influences?
Yeah, influences.
Well, I think about 10. I was 10 and it was Kiss, totally Kiss. Pino, you did a great job today with your Kiss. I
Thank
was
you.
made for loving you. It was Kiss. It was the energy of Kiss and that big show and just guitars. And it was just like so influential as a kid. And then of course that just went into like Zeppelin, Queen, huge Queen fan. And then Heart. I was a huge Heart fan, the Wilson sisters, you know.
So good.
Butch Walker.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that stuff I mean, there's levels and you know, you're introduced to different things, but early on it was that. I mean, anywhere from Butch Walker to from now is My Chemical Romance, Butch Walker, to Avenged Sevenfold. I mean, you know, it's a wide range of what I like now and Pino.
Yeah, right. Pino, totally.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
I
man.
agree with that. But Nick, with that said, you know who we're going to have at Huntley Fall Fest this year, and you're probably going to miss because you're going to have your own show. We've got Mr. Speed, which is
Oh,
the
Kiss
premier,
tribute band? That's
yeah,
cool.
the national premier Kiss tribute act. So they were supposed to play last year, and it got rained out, and they gave us a deal, and they're bringing them back. So
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. What day are they supposed to play? Do you know?
Sunday, the 27th, I think,
Sunday? I thought it was Saturday.
or Saturday. No, Saturday night. Yeah, you're right,
Yeah,
Josie. You're right.
Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm probably
Saturday night.
hopefully
Hi,
I'm
Steve.
playing.
Yeah, you're playing Sunday night. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
All right, Pino, that leaves you, man. And I'm gonna follow up with a couple other questions for you. Once we're done, I'm gonna sneak right into that. So what are your influences and how long have you been playing?
Oh, for since the 90s and stuff. I mean, like Eddie Vedder for me, as far as the front man goes, and Pearl Jam, a vocalist named Mike Patton from Faith No More back in the 90s also doesn't get a lot of recognition in the mainstream, but as far as a vocalist goes, I mean, like one of my heroes, big time. Jeff Buckley, Stevie Ray Vaughan, David Gilmour, guitar-wise. I mean,
Nice.
kind of all the good, like old classic stuff. I love new stuff, The Killers, Kings of Leon, things like that too. You know, they all resonate for me big time.
Yeah, a lot of the artistry kind of musicians. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, U2. I mean, as far as vocalists goes, I mean, Bono is like huge influence. Big, yeah, just passion. They bring passion to the vocals, and so that's kind of where I stem from, I think.
That's awesome. So now that I know you're a David Gilmour fan, I've got to send some requests out to you. I have a couple of David Gilmour songs that I love.
Okay.
Not the ones that were played on the radio, but the B-sides of those.
There you
some
go.
of those songs, as you know, are really deep.
Beautiful.
So, Pino, I understand you're self-taught, that you've never taken a lesson.
That's pretty much true. I mean, I did a couple of guitar lessons back in the day, but overall, I mean, I don't read music. I don't. It's to a fault, actually, because when I get together with musicians that can do that, it's kind of like a wall, like a barrier that's kind of hard to break, unfortunately. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of self-taught, never had any vocal lessons or anything like that. It's just kind of, my grandfather was a singer. My dad had a passion for singing, and my uncle is a professional singer. So it just kind of, I grew up just listening and watching everyone around me. And that was kind of those were my lessons,
That's great. Josie, how about you? Did you have any lessons?
A little bit. I bounced from different vocal teachers and where Serendipity started, which is El Rey in Mount Prospect. I took guitar lessons for a couple of weeks. But I can't play guitar. I can't. But yeah, just a little bit.
You're amazing on stage, though.
Thank you.
Nick, talk about guitar lessons. You give guitar lessons as well. So have you taken lessons as well as?
That's interesting because I've battled with that. Because no, I never took any lessons. It's all self-taught. Everything, and it's just whoever in the neighborhood knew a chord. I think my first, it was a G and C because it was the Deliverance song, is da na 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 da na 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 na. My brother-in-law knew it, and it was G G G G C G, and I'm like, oh dude, teach me what that is. What is that? I want to know it. It was things like that. And my brother played drums. It was in the family, and I'd go and watch them in the basement. He's like 4 years older than me, and they'd be playing sticks and all kinds of stuff in the basement. And I just remember always wanting to do that. But I never took any lessons, just self-taught. So with that moving forward, when I started giving lessons, I preferred actually anyone, but my goal wasn't notes like Pino. I don't know notes. I don't even know tablature. I understand tab, but I'm like, I teach an old dog new tricks. I'm like, I kind of train kids just with their ear and hear it and to go over chords, because as anyone knows, any of the guitar players here, what do you need? What do you really need to know? I mean, to sit around a campfire and play is six chords, really 4 to 6 chords in a capo, and then you can get, so I usually ask the students, unlike when I was a kid, it was, metronome clicking back and forth and stuff I didn't want to learn. I always go out and go, well, who's your favorite band? A lot of the girls at the time was like Taylor Swift or or any music now. It's 4 or 5 chords. It's not like they want to learn Closer to Heart by Rush, which is still, I shouldn't say that because those are pretty basic chords too, but it's just basic guitar, and that's what I teach the kids. And I just go over stuff, and it's all just muscle memory and learning the chords, G, A, D, C, minors, your majors and your minors, and knowing the difference between majors and minors. And I've seen a lot of growth. A lot of students, they've actually impressed me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually teaching kids something. So that's about that. I mean, but I've never had any lessons. It's always just been who is on the neighborhood, who's the best on the neighborhood, and who you can learn from. That's why I've always tried to play with better people, because I've always learned from them,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great point.
Awesome. So Mike Leavitt wants to know if you'd be able to teach him some guitar.
Mikey, yeah, man. It comes down to anyone can learn to play guitar. It's what I tell all the students or their parents. It's like, everybody can do it. It's like, I can give you a half-hour lesson. It doesn't mean you're gonna know how to play guitar. It's what do you do in the next, the next 6 days? What are you doing within that time? You can't just come back to me and go, what do we do next? You have to. That's one thing I look for these days. Like what I had when I was that 10-year-old is passion, and a lot of kids are like, So I have a handful of students that aren't, and that I actually see that passion in them. But I forgot what the question was.
Scott, you started out playing drums?
Mike, I can give Mike a lesson if Mike wants a lesson. I'll teach Mike guitar. Absolutely.
Mike, you heard it live right here, right now. Nick will be able to teach you, man.
Duck's getting old, don't it?
Scott, you started out drums, or you've?
Yeah, I started out on drums. That's actually my first love, and it's a natural instrument for me. A lot of people don't know that, but I got behind a drum set when I was 10 years old for the first time in my dad's bar in Chicago. He owned a bar called the Lockup Lounge. It was a copper bar, ran in Central, right across from the police station. And he used to have he used to have live entertainment in there. I don't know if you're familiar with Rubenstein Lumber on Grand Avenue, but it was right there, right there. And we lived in the back of the bar, so I was exposed to live music, young. And I used to see all these cool bands come in, from blues bands to country bands to rock bands. And he had a house band in there for a while, and they would leave their drum set there. So I got to know the drummer, hey, can you show me a couple things? Showed me like a couple beats. And then I would literally open up the jukebox because my dad had the key. And we would play different songs on the jukebox, and I would learn self-taught as well. Never took any lessons. Played drums for 22 years professionally before I even picked up a guitar. Didn't pick up a guitar till I was 32. And the reason I picked up a guitar is because I was frustrated by being behind the drums like Kelly Keagy singing and playing, and I'm looking at the audience and everyone's into it. And I'm like, guys, pay attention. They're looking at you. Talk to them. So I would get frustrated with my band and I'd be like, would you talk to them? Engage the crowd, talk to them. So I decided to teach myself a few chords. Went to my buddy in the band, said, hey man, show me some chords. You know, learn Smoke on the Water. How about it, Nick? Huh? Smoke on the Water.
Those are notes, not chords, but whatever.
it was a start. And yeah, then the rest is history. I still struggle on guitar. It still doesn't come to me. When I have to learn a song, I have to sit down and really learn it. You know, it doesn't just happen like this. Put me behind a drum set, I can play just about anything. I can hold my own, you know. So yeah, I love it. I love both instruments, and I like being in front of the crowd and engaging the crowd. So that's why I ended up fronting a band. So
yeah, I think that's probably one thing that I know about all four of you, that your stage presence and your fan appreciation. And Pino, I've only seen you on stage one time, but
yeah,
just how you interact with your live feeds and the people in your live feeds, but all of you on stage are amazing with the crowd and how you generate that fan feedback that you need so much as an artist on stage, right? I mean, you need that fan feedback, don't you?
I miss it.
Yeah. I think we all do.
I think everybody does.
Yeah, thanks, Jim, for noticing, because that's what it's all about. You know, we always have a saying in my band, you know, we're the players and you guys are the show, you know.
Yeah, the fans out there are pretty amazing. And I said this the other day on a chat, and I still believe it wholeheartedly. I've traveled the country for a day job that I don't have anymore, thank God. And
oh wait, I gotta interrupt you. That reminds me. Make sure you tip Jim and Becky Obos. This is their living.
Yeah.
Their living has literally shut off just like the rest of the world, and so many musicians. These people need your help. Please tip.
Absolutely.
It's on every one of our feeds here.
If I can just chime in real quick, we were talking about doing a PayPal for each of us, and I mean, I'm a performer, and I mean, I like to. It's even rough for me to do this visual tip thing, this virtual tip thing, and people have been so gracious, and it's been awesome. But we were talking about, oh, we put your PayPals down there and stuff like that, and I'm like, you know what? I mean, I'd rather just. You, Jim, are in the same field we are, really. You're there with us. That picture behind you took from Huntley Fall Fest. I don't know if it was last year. I mean, you've captured some amazing pictures of people and moments, and this is your livelihood, and it's been stripped from you as well. You're unemployed as well. So people that are watching, and I've got it, Josie's got it. Pino, I don't even think you were on the chat when we did that, and that's fine. It's all good. But please, if you can, just if you're going to tip out to anybody, just give Jim and Becky some.
Support these people. I mean, they can't even get online, and you know, they do some cool car karaoke, but you know,
oh Lord,
they're always there when we need them. You know, and there's been times when, you know, they've helped us out in this industry, and I'll never forget it. And that's what's so beautiful about this music industry. Is we're in this together. This is not a competition. This is a family, and family helps each other. And I'm just so proud to be a part of this Chicagoland music scene. I mean, it's incredible. And as Jim said in his other posts, there is no other scene in the world. I don't care. I've been all over too, that has a scene like Chicago. It's amazing. And it starts with the people, the fans, and it ends with the amazing musicians who are just phenomenal. When I share a stage with Nick, Josie, and hopefully someday with you, Pino, I just got to tell you, it's an honor for me to share a stage with such talented people. And I mean it from my bottom of my heart. It's an honor for me.
And I appreciate that. I feel the same way, dude. I feel the same way. It's rough not being able to see us do what we do and coming into, you know, this season. And you know, I just, you know, all we can do is hope for the best, you know, and you know what? It's not going to last forever, and we're all going to be right back, and we're going to have new friends and meet new people, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be bigger and better. It's just we need to stick together and get through this. You know, I mean, this too shall pass.
Yes, it will.
Yep. And I appreciate that, you guys. And Pino, you're looking like, what are they talking about? But we had that 5 minutes before when you were ending, and
Yeah.
they all said the same thing. They are just like, we're just putting your info down for our names and stuff. And
Yeah.
I apologize that.
No,
you're kind
I
of-
would have been happy to do the same. I just clicked on the
Yep.
link and I didn't even have the opportunity to even put my name on there. I think it just like brought me straight to the
Right,
Zoom
no.
thing. So I didn't.
So to be fair though, Pino, you and I talked earlier today and you actually said that to me too. So I appreciate that. All you guys, I appreciate that. Josie, I just appreciate your support for us. We love what we do. Becky and I, so I started doing it 25 years ago. And, I had the first digital camera out there that took photos literally that were like this big. And it was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Digital photo, look, that's so cool. And it was crazy to think about that they were a stamp size photo. And I thought that was cool. But once I went digital, I never looked back, and it's been digital all the way for me. And Becky joined photography side. She was doing some video stuff at Tilted Kilt. And that got killed because of the copyright stuff with videos back in the screwy days of early that. But she joined in, and as soon as she picked the camera up, she was like, wow, this is really cool. And we did it together for a while, and it just got to be as much as it is that she's got her own gigs now. I've got my own gigs, and as a couple, we're doing weddings and band work with you guys and events and fests, and we do our charity work. That's where I met Pino at the Huntley Goes Bald St. Baldrick's event a couple weeks ago.
I got a haircut today.
Blown away. Nice guy.
Looking good, brother.
Yeah, my
Liz,
son gave
guy-
it to me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, guys, Josie, Nick, Scott, I'm no lie, and Pino, I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but I'm no lie. I'm sitting there listening to him play, and he starts this song, and for the life of me, because I'm thinking of this stuff, I don't remember that song. But I stopped what I was doing in front of 500 people and stood there and watched him play this song, and was blown away by the artistry behind the song, let alone the song itself. And yeah, it was just great. And man, it's been great to know you over the last few weeks. So again, I appreciate that. We are, for every jar tip that we get, we are going to do raffles like we did last week. $1 for each raffle ticket. We're going to raffle off those prizes, and maybe some surprise stuff coming up before we pull the winners. We'll let you know that on our Facebook page at JPM Photography, Your Dreams Captured. Please put Your Dreams Captured after that, because when we started JPM, there were 0 JPMs in the world. And as of last week or 2 weeks ago, when I looked, there's like 63 JPM photographies. Go figure.
Really?
None of them are in Chicago other than us, but still, there you go. So I appreciate that. Let's get back to it. Josie, I understand that you have some, no one's seen you for a while because we've done this, or they've seen you live feed, but you have some exciting news and a new member of the family you might want to tell us about, huh?
I do.
Tell us about Willow.
I do. I have a dog. Woo! It's kind of a big deal.
So big.
Yes, I think it's a huge deal because I had a family dog for 16 years, and she was a Chihuahua, and it was mostly my mom's dog, I would say, but I always wanted like my own dog so bad, and I was always like, I can't get it. I just don't have the time. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, I got one. Her name is Willow. She is a Staffordshire Terrier mix. She is so naughty. So naughty. So she was actually in training before all this, before everything started, but we're training her. We're trying. She listens sometimes, but she often looks at me and is like, I know what you're saying, but I'm not going to listen. And then she just walks away, and she always eats cat food. She likes cat food.
So she's like a cat.
Yeah, she wants to be a cat really, really badly. And I'm like, you're a dog. To tell her every single day, you're a dog, don't forget.
Yeah,
But,
where is she? Show us.
she's not here. She's at Brad's house. So she doesn't stay with me. So I'm just gonna break up with Brad and then he can keep her. I'm kidding. Funny.
You didn't hear that here.
We're not recording this.
He's watching probably. But yeah, she's awesome. She's
That's
taught
great.
me so much already. I mean, it's crazy owning something and having something to yourself. I've learned a lot just from a dog. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the rest of you guys have had this opportunity, but Josie, why don't you tell us a little bit about your recent auditions that you've had with some live TV. You don't have to name names if you don't want to, but you did some live auditions for a live TV show, a vocal show, and what did you think about that?
Okay, so I did. It's been a while. So I've done multiple, I would say 3 or 4. And the first one I did, I don't even know, like 11, 12 or something like that. And I did it with someone else. And I think that one was America's Got Talent. And we made it past multiple rounds, so what you guys see on TV, I'm not gonna like get super into it, but what you see on TV is just not what actually goes into these type of shows, you know what I mean? So you have to go through multiple different auditions and stuff just to get to the point like before TV. So yeah, we
Blake
tried
Shelton's
for
really not drunk on TV.
what?
So Blake Shelton's really not drunk on TV.
No, he probably is. Don't worry, that's probably real. That's real.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
And then I also, what else was it? Okay, so The Voice was a huge one. I did that probably when I was like 15 or something like that. And I actually made it past all the rounds, and they sent plane tickets to us, and then they said all you have to do is sign this contract. But it was a contract that would sign me away to being able to do stuff for them for 7 years. So I wouldn't have been able to be with Serendipity anymore.
7 years.
So I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
So then we didn't go through with it. And then lastly, we did American Idol. And actually, Nick came with me.
I
And
did.
he played guitar, which that was awesome. Thank you. And I, my heart wasn't really in it at that point, but Lenny was like, you need to just do it. Just go, just try. We have this special audition. They really want you to try out. So I did it, and that was all. I didn't make it. But long story short, there's like a lot of different things that go into the TV shows and stuff like that. And usually you have to sign a contract. And that's why you don't usually see the artists anymore after they're not on the show, because they can't play with other bands and stuff like that. But I learned a lot from all that stuff, and it was still super fun.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you made the decision to stay here in Chicago and
Me too.
be with Serendipity. Your band is pretty amazing.
Thank you.
I think the first time I saw you guys was right around that 15 years old
Oh yeah.
at Elgin Rib Fest, I think it was.
Yes, we were actually. I think I was 13,
Yeah,
maybe.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're 22 now?
I'm 23.
You're 23 now? Right on.
Yep.
Well, see,
Yeah.
you're old too.
What?
You're old too.
I know, right? Gosh.
I got shirts
That's
in my
awesome.
dresser older than you.
Same.
Hey,
Older than me.
They are.
Josie, I do have a message for you. Straight up strength and honor.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I love it.
You talked about Lenny Rago. Pretty much everyone knows Lenny Rago. He owns Panino's Pizza, one of our great supporters in the Chicago music scene. But man, if you are ever in Park Ridge, Evanston, or Chicago, and you're looking for some pizza other than mine, Lenny Rago's got the pizza there.
Oh yeah. It's
Yes.
amazing.
It's amazing. We went out and supported him with a group gathering at the Park Ridge location a couple weekends ago. So it was kind of fun. So Scott, there's so much going on with Hillbilly Rockstars right now. You got a new lead singer.
Yes, we do.
You have your song that's charting. That's pretty amazing. I know you have a couple other songs. Why don't you talk a little bit about Courtney and some of the things you got going on with Hillbilly Rockstars?
Well, as many of you know, Anna decided to take a step back and get a normal life. But little did she know there'd be a pandemic. No. Totally kidding. Anna's always going to be around. We love Anna, and she's going to be filling in a couple dates this summer. But yeah, we are super, super stoked to have Courtney Jurek. Amazing, amazing, amazing vocalist. I'm so honored to share a stage with this lady, and she has just got stage presence for days.
I saw you guys in the backyard there when you did the recording. She was awesome.
Yeah, she's
Sounded great.
else. So we're excited about it. Also found out she's a songwriter too. So we are going to be working on a new album, which I'm hoping to have out by the fall. I've already got like 3 songs put together myself, and 2 of them I really want her to sing. And a lot of people don't know this, but our first album that I've ever put together, which I haven't written since I was a kid, was pushed, and I was slapped around by Richie to make an album, Richie Hofer from Seventh Heaven. Nick actually sat in on some of those and helped us out and said, "Scott, that sucks. Go do it again." So, but no, seriously, yeah, a lot of people don't know that. So Feels Like Home, our album, which is on Spotify, sorry, cheap plug, iTunes and Amazon Music, Richie Hofer actually, he recorded it, mixed it, and mastered it, and helped me put it together. So pretty proud of that album. And we did chart as high as 31 on many charts. We only got to like, I think 1 something on the Billboard, but I'll take it.
And that was with your song Feels Like Home, right?
Yeah, it Feels Like Home.
That's awesome song.
Played in 50 plus countries, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's also, the video for it is actually in a contest right now with the London Music Video Awards.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you get to go to that Facebook website, please vote for us.
Can you post a link on the Hillbilly Rocks, or not Hillbilly, on a Huntley Fall Fest Facebook page?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, do that so we can get some votes for you. Steve Enders wants to know if you're going to do another live show from your backyard.
We are planning on it. We were supposed to do it a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, and it snowed. Because we want to, practice, social distancing and make sure that we can do it the right way. We're like everybody else. We don't know what's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, but we definitely want to be safe as we possibly can be. Knock on wood, all the hillbillies have been really healthy, and I'm grateful for that, and our families. But we don't want to take any chances either and get confined in a basement and somebody gets sick. It's not worth it.
For sure. I know all you guys have played many cool stages. Nick, I'm going to throw this out to you first, and others can chime in. Make it quick because we're getting close here. But famous musicians, who have you played with on stage that you were like, wow, that's kind of cool. I played with him or opened for him or whatever. Shared a stage with a musician that you either looked up to or just thought, this is pretty cool.
Wow, there's, through the years, there's so many. I mean, there is, because at festivals, we play these festivals, but the biggest one, and I try, it was that pop out. Sammy Hagar was amazing. And the reason Sammy Hagar pops out, it was his Joliet Memorial Stadium, is because he was like, yeah, well, hey man, you want to take pictures? Come on, come on over here. And he's hugging me, and I'm like, dude, I'm sweaty. He goes, I'm gonna be sweaty in about 10 minutes. And he was just so down to earth and cool, as opposed to other like big time, musicians that don't want to have anything to do with you. But the biggest one was we opened up for actually Kid Rock is who we opened up for. And Kid Rock opened up for Bon Jovi at Soldier Field in 2010. And that was by far the most amazing thing. When I think that was close to sold out. There was like 60 something thousand. And I think when we opened up and we played, there was probably 44,000 people there. And it was amazing. Wow. That was very cool, but I got to be honest with you, like I've had, the stage is huge, right? And then they give you this.
Yeah.
So I've actually had bigger, you can't say bigger, but more room, I don't know, on some of these festival stages that I played in than Soldier Field, because they kind of squash you down to what you can do. But when you're in an arena and you hear your guitar coming through a stadium, you're like, what the heck's going on here? So that was pretty much amazing. That's about it. I don't know really. how to top that, you know?
Yeah, that's great. Scott, how about you?
Taste of Chicago with my other country band that was big in the 90s, Dixie Highway. We opened up for Joe Diffie at Taste of Chicago. Same thing. It was just like surreal. You know, you're looking around going, I can't believe them in front of all these thousands of people, and the energy kicks in. But again, we had the small little slot. You know, I had to squeeze my drum set up on stage as best I could. But it was awesome. We got to hang out with Joe Diffie, another good guy who just passed. We just lost him. It was really heartbreaking for me. It hits home because, I mean, we actually got to, you know, hang out with him for a couple hours on his bus. He had a jacuzzi in it, and got drunk and had a good old time. So it was
Awesome.
pretty good. And we
Hey,
didn't have a lot of cell
real
phones,
quick.
so don't have any pictures.
Yeah, well, you know, we could have been there probably.
I know, right?
Cheap plug for JPM Photography. Scott, there's one very famous musician that you shared a stage with that you didn't mention.
Uh-oh.
You know who I'm talking about?
There's been a few.
Rich Hover?
He was in a band called hold on. I don't have it written down. Frontline, or
Pardon?
your band was Centerline.
Okay.
You had a band open up for you, Frontline or
Oh, New Line?
New Line. Yeah,
New Line
famous musician. I think his name was Justin.
Oh, yeah, it was my son and my daughter when they were kids. Very much like Serendipity when they started. And they were all, you know, 8, 9, 10, 12 years old. And yeah, they used to open up for my band at a lot of different festivals. And my daughter Barbara plays keyboards. She also teaches vocals and keys at Mecca Music Education Centers in Elgin. I believe Sam from Serendipity works there. Am I right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
So we're a very close-knit family. But yeah, Justin was playing drums, and it was pretty cool because we combined both bands at the end. We had 2 drum sets, 2 basses, you know, 4 guitars, 2 keyboards going, and that was always the big extravaganza at the end, where both bands got to play together, and the kids always got top billing, and they deserved it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Pino, while you're answering this question about other musicians that you might have played with, what kind of music do you play, and what kind of influence did that bring to your artistry today? I mean, I've seen your live shows, and every time that you're playing, I kind of get that, wow, I just got to sit there, stop whatever I'm doing, and just watch you. And I have you on our 55-inch widescreen TV, so it's kind of cool that way. But I just have to sit back and just watch what you do to the song. So what kind of music do you play, and what kind of stuff did you play, or have you ever played with a musician that you thought was, oh my God?
Yeah, well, most of the musicians that I play with are guys that I've known since, you know, like high school, to be honest. We kind of have like this family knit group of musicians. And so I've had a lot of growth and experience with like the same guys kind of coming up, you know, and I don't know if Scott or if the rest of the guys have that similar vibe going on, but it's kind of like a music family, you know. To answer the question about what bands I've had the opportunity to open up for or whatnot, I would say the Wailers, but the Bob Marley Wailers, after Bob Marley passed, of course, but was able to do that at the House of Blues. That was like probably the biggest, you know, the closest I got to like, you know, any kind of celebrity kind of opening up for bands.
That's awesome. And I think I'm going to throw you on the spot with this question as well while you're answering. You took some time off for a little bit. So
yes.
Why don't you share a little bit, if you can, why you took some time off, and, you know, you came back, and, you know, you're hitting this world of CV19 that's shutting down shows and fest for the last 2 months, 3 months. And, you know, what happened in that gap?
Well, there was about a 10-year gap, actually. So, yeah, so I did the open up for the Wailers. We were doing very well back in the day. And then in 2008, actually, when everything crashed. Kind of work was slow. It didn't make sense to be going out and tour, like we were trying to tour the country and do it was mostly original music, and it's not easy to go on tour and like do original music, and it's just not easy. I'm very used to playing in empty bars and clubs where there's very minimal people, very minimal reaction after a song or something like that. And it just kind of like it's good experience. It's humbling, and it just kind of these are the kind of shows you have to do in order to, I guess, move to another level and be able to have that kind of under your belt, I guess. But it took time. Have two beautiful kids, and I just took time off, and just got back into the restaurant and bar scene about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And like you mentioned, So Hopped and stuff like that. I've just kind of been feeling the waters and just trying to get back out into the world of music, not realizing that there was a world there that I could actually, like, even if I'm not playing all originals all the time, like I can play covers and people respond to that, and I can get a paycheck at the end of the evening and stuff like that. So I've been focusing on that for the last 1.5 years or so, and then all of a sudden this happened, and so I was kind of on this trajectory of booking gigs, all like just restaurant and bar gigs, you know what I mean? Like, but meeting great people, making great connections with restaurants and bars, like the managers and the owners of the businesses, and just trying to get my name back out there again, And then I met Bryant not too long ago, and that's where I met you at the St. Baldrick's in Huntley. And Bryant's been instrumental in just trying to get me out there, and I'm very grateful to that, and to be sitting here with you three incredible, talented musicians. Like, I'm just kind of blown away a little bit. So very glad to be here tonight. Definitely.
That's
I'm
awesome.
glad that this pandemic happened for the reason that I was introduced to you, Pino, because we had no idea you were out there, and you are definitely a talent that needs to be out in our scene.
Yeah, man.
You belong here in more ways than one, and you're going to have a lot of success in this business.
Oh, wow. Thank you for saying that. Definitely.
So good, brother.
Yeah, if there's a silver lining in all this, it's like what Scott said. It's getting to know you. When I first saw you play, I was like, "Who the hell is this dude? Where the hell did he
come from?"
And I'm like, and you really in this chaos. I think you hit it. I mean, I'm looking at comments. People just love you, dude. I mean, you're this. If there's a silver lining right now, you are definitely. People know who you are now, and it's awesome. I know who you are. I didn't know either. A lot of us are always playing as well. Echoes for a lot of other musicians as well. Like, I can sit down now in my living room and say, "Oh my God, this person I've never seen, and I've got nothing to do but see this person now. I have no excuse. I don't have to run." And I'm like, "Oh my God," So it's been. If there's any kind of silver lining or any glimmer of anything, it's like it's very refreshing to see talent like yours, dude. So you're awesome.
I mean, wow. Listen, and I agree with you. Like, when you're busting your ass Monday through Friday through the weekends as a gigging musician, you don't have the opportunity to go out and see all these other musicians. So it's exactly what your point is, like, being able to have the opportunity where all these people are doing these streams, and Monday through Friday. It doesn't matter if it's a Tuesday night or a Sunday morning. Right now with this pandemic, it's like it's every day is kind of like Groundhog's Day, right? So it's been great to not be on that like fast paced, like just go from show to show to show to my day job. You can sit back and sit on your couch and be like, "Oh, who is this guy?" Or "Who is Serendipity?" I just heard Josie. I was watching your one of your live streams. You played a song called "Addicted." I'm pretty sure it was called.
Yeah.
So I was like, I would never have had the opportunity to watch you before that. So, like, these kind of moments, we're all just kind of stepping back, and it's been cool to see the music scene from a completely different perspective than 2 months ago. You know, it's really been
Yeah, for
something
sure.
I'd
special.
like to be one of the first people to say welcome to the family, Pino.
Yeah.
I'm honored and thank you. Thank you, Scott.
Truthfully, truthfully. All right, we only have like 5, 6, 7 minutes left, so I'm just gonna throw a couple things out. You can respond quick or not. You can have a couple word input if you want to do that. I already did yours, Josie, strength and honor. Obviously, you know where that came from.
My dad.
Yeah, you want to say anything to him? He's watching.
Yes. He's literally in the other room. I actually have strength and honor tattooed on my back because of him. Him and my mom, they, everything, the band and everything, they believe in me so much, and they do. I would be nowhere without them. You know, my dad is like literally our sound guy. He loves it so much. He is also my boss. I work for him as well. So he's just, they're amazing. So strength and honor, everybody.
That's great. That's great. Pino, I have to ask, man. I heard you had really long curly hair down to the middle of your back at one point. What happened?
What? Well, I mean, you're talking about many years ago, back in the grunge days. You know what I mean? So I think depending on how long this pandemic lasts, we might get back to a ponytail soon. Who knows? Because I'm not. There you go.
My hair has never been this long ever, man. It's
right?
crazy.
Exactly.
Crazy.
So, you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, those were the days, man. Back in, like I mentioned, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, like that whole scene was all the long hair back in the day. So
Yeah. Scott, I got to put you on the spot. So back in your old house, practicing with centerline, you had a task that happened a lot while you were in practice with your band. Paulette must not been around. Can you tell us a little bit about that real quick?
Who did you talk to about that one? It is like, wow. Well, my son was very young. He was just getting potty trained. And, you know, it's an old house, 100-year-old farmhouse. And they're in the middle of learning a song, the band. And I'm like, what is that? Who's screaming? He's yelling through the vent. I'm not going to name his name. And he's screaming, Dad, Mom's not home. I need you to come wipe my butt. I'm like, oh my God. And the band's like, did he just say what I think he just said? I'm like, hey, my kid, I'll be right back. So yeah, thanks. I don't know where you got that information to. Wow.
That's right. I will not divulge any of my sources for any of these. And by the way, I have a whole bunch more, but we're running out of time here. So Nick, a man after my own heart. This is, I have to know the story behind this, but I first have to ask, and I'm going to just name some goofy places off: McDonald's, Burger King, Steak and Shake, Johnny Rockets. Can you rate those shakes and tell me which ones aren't on your list?
Dude, right now it's just Burger King shakes. I'm addicted to shakes. I love shakes all of a sudden, my whole life, and all of a sudden I like introduced to shakes. And no, just right now I think it's actually Dairy Queen shakes. They're the best. Little banana in there, or Susie's over in Jefferson Park. Susie's has some really good shakes too. Yeah, but that's a corny ass question, man.
Yeah, but you're like on this top level of what you do. You actually have a rating system, don't you?
No, I don't have a rating system. I have no rating.
Come on.
Oh,
I don't have
likes a little system. Extra banana.
I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't.
No, I will say this though, Nick, your astrophotography blows me away. I know we talk about that a lot. We talked about that this week a number of times, because every time you and I wanted to go out and shoot something out there, it was cloudy.
Yeah.
But we missed a comet storm. We missed the smiley face with the moon and Venus, Jupiter, or Saturn and Jupiter. I don't remember which two that were there, but
Uranus.
yes. I didn't want to say
No,
that.
I do. You know, there's two things that have been constant in my life has been the love for space and then music. It's always been there as a constant. And then, like you said, with the digital age, when I was able to get, not deal with film and have my computer and a camera and a telescope and be able to take pictures of, celestial stuff, it was just the best thing ever. So yeah, it's a huge passion of mine.
That's great. That's
And you're
awesome.
taking some amazing stuff as well.
Let's not forget why we're here. Huntley Fall Fest.
Yes, we are here because of Huntley Fall Fest, and
Brian,
thank you to
it's amazing.
First National Bank of Omaha for sponsoring that. Tonight, we are doing a raffle drawing, and for every dollar that you put up in our tip jar right up here, we are going to give you a ticket for that raffle. And I think that I have a t-shirt coming from Scott. I know I'm putting him on the spot here, but I think I have a t-shirt coming from him.
You can have two.
Huh?
You have two.
Yeah, and Nick, I already have some Seventh Heaven stuff from you guys, so I'm good there. And Josie, I didn't ask you, I didn't have time. I apologize. If you want to add anything to the raffle, just let me. I know how you love your merch and getting your merch out, especially to kids when you're in front of kids at a show.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like throwing your merch out, your wristbands, your stuff. It's just great to see, and the kids just come up and join that. And Pino, I think you even offered some things. So we'll put that in our raffle item and post it on our Facebook page. Guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you as musicians and artists. I can't wait to get to the Huntley Fall Fest stage in September. That's September 25th, 26th, and 27th. Right now, we're pretty excited because it's that far off in the future that we're pretty confident that we're going to have a good fest, and it's going to be as busy as it's always been there. We've got a great carnival. We've got a great hometown feel car show that's out there. Great food vendors that are all local to Huntley. Pino, what's the tavern and beer that we're going to get?
So
What was
hot.
that?
So
Yeah,
hot.
So Hot Brewery.
Yes.
So they have a Oktoberfest and an IPA that they're making just for Huntley Fall Fest. If you guys like the taste of IPAs or Oktoberfest beers, they're going to have some cool things for us. So again, thank you. Anything else you guys want to say to your fans out there?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Air
We
hugs.
appreciate you guys.
Air hugs. I want to hug you. I want to hug everybody.
Yeah, air hug.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate your time, and
Thank you.
see you next time.
I'll see
Bye.
you all around.
Thank you for letting us be a part of this. Very honored.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate it
See you
very much.
guys.
Thank you.
You know you rock.
Thank you. Thank you. Can't wait to meet you guys in person.
For sure.
Cool. All right. Why don't you guys click off? I'm going to stick on just for a couple more seconds here. I appreciate, or you can hang loose and just listen. I'm just going to go through that sponsor list again, just so everyone has it. So again, this is Huntley Fall Fest, brought to you by many of our sponsors, but our main sponsor, First National Bank of Omaha. You can find them at www.fnbo.com and absolutely check out banks that they have. If you need a new bank or want a new bank in your area, they are all around the Chicago market and you can find them everywhere. Just a great company to deal with. Remember, Huntley Fall Fest is in Dikey Park at the Huntley Park
You
District
thought I was
grounds.
gone, didn't you? You thought I was gone. Don't forget to tip Jim and Becky Obos. The
Oh,
link
man,
is right here. It's right here underneath my chin. Here, hang on, right there. There is the link. There it is. My finger looks enormous in this.
It's above my head too.
Okay, yeah, it's above your head there, that way. But anyway, please support these people. They're awesome. They'll always be there when you need them. They've always been there when we need them. We love you guys. Thank you.
Love you, Scott.
Ryan,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks. So Hop Brewery again and Tap Room. They're going to be right in Huntley. Like Pino said, they're a year and a half old or so, maybe 2 years old. They're going to do a couple great new beers for us. 2 new beers, Oktoberfest and IPA. Again, the raffle tickets, for every dollar that you put into our tip jar, we'll email you back raffle numbers We did that this past Monday, and yeah, it was quite fun. Pulled 2, 4, 6, 7 prizes or so, and we had some great fun with that. So we've got a car show, Carnival Mega Pass. You can go to our Huntley Fall Fest page at huntleyfallfest.com and see all the information with all our new bands, with all our bands on our new updated web page as of today. We have those things fixed. We had some dates wrong, some band names, incorrect positions and times and stuff, but it is absolutely updated as of today. So go check that out. And we'll see you next time. We're going to do this again, probably next week. And next week, I think we have, let me think about this. Rock Brigade, Chris Bobrowski. I think he'll be on. Lounge Puppets, Pete. Who else? I think from Mr. Speed, we've got Rich. So we should have a good time next week as well. But yeah, join us next week. We'll do this again. Maybe I'll change the background to another Fall Fest background that you'll be able to see some Fall Fest fun. But this image was an image that we actually printed and sold. A couple fans loved this image so much that we put it up on our web page where we sell our prints, and you can you can purchase that too. It's a Key Simple photo. So he was on stage. He was actually in the foreground. I didn't want it too busy. I like the background with the sunset. So, but yep, catch us next time, and thank you for being here. See ya.